Hello, I hope all's progressing well. Welcome to I Don't Know, We Can Talk About It, where we discuss myriads of topics civilly, reasonably, and responsibly. My name is Kevin Dufresne. Our first topic is about the lunchroom. Assessing how to approach offering free lunch completely, excluding any fees that may come with processing. Fees that some may call junk fees. Depending on a vendor, an educational environment may have to tend financial responsibilities of individuals that qualify for free lunch differently to ensure students qualifying for free lunch do not pay any fees in connection with the free lunch, such as junk fees, processing fees. Even considering the article mentions any vendor partnering with an educational environment may need to find an online route that ensures any individual paying online for lunch is not going to have to pay an online fee, which may be popular for a portion of individuals paying the fees that are to receive free lunch. And since online payments may be popular, again, for some, a vendor may have to find a way to route individuals receiving free lunch to be receiving free lunch to a way to pay online without any fees. I think since certain states, certain educational environments offer free lunch for everyone, I feel as though considering how each educational environment is able to do that may prove valuable for areas, educational environments that may have a higher population, if not similar population, of individuals of a particular income. If individuals of a similar income are unable to afford lunch, though have to tend to fees to particular qualifications to receive free lunch in comparison to another state where doing so is not necessary, then I feel as though finding what is beneficial to work within the educational environment may prove extremely sound. I wonder of what industry is in touch with an educational atmosphere to cater to such a reality. Aside from any governmental assistance, aside from any route that may be of any level of government in connection with lunch, I wonder if any industry is really approaching educational environments about how to connect, how to bridge realities between affordability and meals, catering not only to stomachs, though values in connection with what benefits an individual that is to learn to be in an educational environment for a particular period of time when full of good sustenance, when operating by healthful benefits. And I wonder if educational environments are engaging with individuals that may not have access to breakfast prior to coming to school as well. These are very sound parameters to consider, especially since one has a period of time before lunch to consider that may be affecting, in connection with an individual that is hungry, how one is operating throughout one's day. One may operate quite differently before eating a meal than after eating a meal. So, though responsibilities of eating are not wholly upon the educational environment's responsibilities, I feel as though even considering such a parameter as breakfast may prove valuable toward gearing individuals to be in a healthy state, approaching education healthily and operating healthfully throughout one's day. I think the article brings lunch to light, though what is important about eating in connection with education to light, with learning to light very well, which I think is extremely important to acknowledge when considering why a free lunch plan is even important, when considering why any might need sustenance, because a human is a human, not a robot. Our next topic is about grading, a non-traditional form of grading. Not strange to me, I'm actually familiar with receiving a somewhat similar grading structure in elementary school, though the school operates with that structure from elementary and middle school. The idea is to tend to proficiencies, really looking at what standards the teachers are attempting to assess, and then implementing such standards through assessing processes. And what's really interesting about what's happening in that educational environment is that the teachers are connecting and collaborating to make the happening. So one is finding the collaborative efforts proving well between the teachers in connection with all the parameters of education at the state, and the parents, the families are finding value in the grading parameters. Now, what's similar is the proficiency assessing, the mastery assessing, coming from an understanding of being able to have the traditional grading from A to F, F to A, however you want to observe it, and also having guidelines and attention to that. I think that both systems may be effective. Of course, I do find value in being able to look at a report card and see that a letter grade is in accompaniment with a non-traditional assessment, which is a great way to see where an individual may grow more. It also is clear as to what a teacher might be looking at in addition to fulfilling assignments for grading. The rubrics may vary, learning may vary and teaching may vary. And I find the groundwork of what's happening in this educational environment to be very wonderful in approaching how to assess what really does connect, I think, well with what educational criterion considers, even considering that a student, like an employee, may receive a similar type of assessment. Why might a student benefit from receiving such an assessment? The assessment, I feel, really engages a student with understanding that learning is a process beyond task work, that learning is a well-rounding process connecting to a whole person, and there are transferable skills that operate widely beyond an academic environment, though within an academic environment, across industry, that may prove valuable for one in the long term. So I feel as though the assessment of which the article is mentioning is a very good connector for individuals that are attempting to find the connecting values between academia and industry, which are clear through such a parameter. So I really like that the rubric, that the teaching, that the learning, the entire processing is of consideration of the whole person. Seemingly, I mention so because of how the rubric is in attendance with parameters that are beyond task work. All right, we're going to get into some origami. Today, we're going to make an origami rose. So it's a square paper. We're going to take it, we're going to fold it up and down, left, right. Edge to edge, first, edge to edge. After we come edge to edge, we're going to fold in each point, each corner to the center. Okay, and after you get each point to the center, you're going to fold in each corner. So we're here now, if you open it up, you're gonna fold in each corner again. Now, you fold it out here in reverse. Fold in corner here. Fold in these corners here. Just want to show you something. If you fold it in this way, meaning if you fold it in reverse, like here, what will happen is you'll start to go down the path of the lotus, which is pretty cool. So I just want to mention that. If you come in here, you'll start to go down the path of the lotus. And you'll realize that there's a fold discrepancy here. We're going to have basically 3 folds right down the same middle. So you come in here, when you're looking at the instructions, if you're working with the instructions, just remember, keep the folds in, okay? In one direction here. And then we're gonna have multiple folds to work with. I mentioned so because of reading the instructions prior and looking at one of the instructional pictures and thinking, I think there's a reverse fold somewhere here. So next we fold in. We fold in. We fold in. And we're going to fold in. Now we're going to fold out. So we're going to fold out and we're just going to open this about halfway, not completely now, about halfway here. Okay, we're gonna fold in this portion, halfway here. This way, this way, this way. And then, here you have it. Our Origami Rose. And if you do a third fold in, you'll have that extra fold in. But yeah, this looks quite different than the one from the instructions. Though, this is what I'm recalling. So it looks more like a table symbol. You might be able to use it for a cup holder. Anyway. You can always find your way with origami in a unique way. And if you want to try yourself, you can find the instructions for the origami in the summary of the YouTube channel. I appreciate reading physical books. I encourage reading physical books. I champion reading physical books because of all the benefits in connection with spatial development. And today we're going to talk about the power of now. I appreciate the text because the text is mindful of the power of now, assessing the present. Though the text does advise to ensure to have a goal, to have goals. Moving in the now is wonderful and sound with a connection, a sound connection, good connection to a direction one wants to be. A goal. And having a goal prevents mindlessness. Mindlessness in the sense of aimlessness, living without a purpose, living without a cause. There is another sense of mindlessness that is philosophical, which is to engage with a part of Osho's tantric approaches, which we are not engaging with to any degree beyond here. The power of now is really sound with being attentive to what is necessary to grow properly. The power of now really encourages individuals to be mindful of what one wants and to be mindful of how one will get there. And of course, how one is moving in an interdependent reality at large, being attentive to the present, as well as considering that one is moving beyond the past, beyond the future, if one will, moving with one's efforts more so than time, which is another philosophical terminology to assess. So one is aware life is beyond time, though one may consider time as a creation of which many things operate, or at least of which many things have a design to operate with. Time's design. So that one finds one's life in the best ways possible, toward the best directions possible. The best directions being in connection with one's good goals. The reality of the power of now is the message, the methods are very good, are very sound, and I feel like observing a text well, analyzing the text well, and moving with the text practically through one's life will be of great value to any individual. Assessing parameters of what success one is attempting to obtain, what success one is attempting to connect with, of course, personally. Thanks for joining. I don't know, we can talk about it. Onward and Upward, Kevin Dufresne.